there, my name is Jordan Leroy Hansen, also known as the Dev, and I'm here to provide you a very interesting take on a Super Friends deck archetype. And that is actually trying to essentially put a Super Friends deck and a Chromatic Black deck and kinda smush it together. Now, for those who don't know what Chromatic Black decks are, they're decks that rely on one specific teeny card, Chromatic Lantern. Oh, nope. I need to remember that assuming this is... How do you zoom in this again? Well, essentially, it relies on... Oh, you just hover over it. Okay, brain fart on that one. Anyway, it relies on the card Chromatic Lantern, which is a free mana artifact that makes it where your lands you control can have the ability to add 1 mana of any color, and as itself also works like a mana rock. So, the main purpose of the deck is, in general, it's actually a mono-black control deck. Like, we have the typical black control stuff, such as Vraska's Contempt, Eldest Reborn. I would even debate putting... Technically, I was debating putting stuff in, like, say, Ritual Suit. We also have Cryocranarium in here. And I was even thinking about putting Cast Down in here and such, but I'm doing a little test. And the test is, thanks to cards like Chromatic Lantern, I'm going to try to see if we can put some multicolor removal in as well, such as Assassin's Trophy, which is a very, very good removal, one to keep in mind with War of the Spark coming out and there potentially being a lot of Planeswalkers. Also, stuff like Kalia's Wrath, that's kind of what I'm replacing with Ritual Suit. It's an experiment to see if I can make this deck kind of work. Now, we also have some mono-black payoffs, just in case we don't get our Chromatic Lanterns, such as Josu Vest, Lich Knight. Great card, pretty much if you can pump a lot of mana into it, which we have methods to, which we'll go to once we get into the land. You can actually get a bunch of zombie tokens and win through that method. You have stuff like Doom Whisperer, which I put in as a one-of, just as a good... It's a 6/6 flying trample that you can pay life to actually help alter your deck to try to get into good draws, which is good. Eldest Reborn is just a really good card, especially since we have a lot of Planeswalkers in the deck in general. Well, in the deck and also outside of the deck, but we'll get to that. And one of the linchpin cards to Chromatic Black is Mastermind's Acquisition. Mastermind's Acquisition is 2 black for sorcery that allows us to choose one, search your library for a card, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library, or choose a card you own from outside the game and put it into your hand. Now, mostly we're going to sometimes just use this card to get our combo pieces to help make our deck run, such as our Chromatic Lanterns, sometimes a treasure map, or maybe even if we need to get an essential piece to help us control the board, such as a board wipe, or even Karn sometimes. Or even our late game payoffs if we already have the Chromatic Lantern such as, for example, our late game payoffs in this case is Teferi here Dominaria, which is our Planeswalker, Vraska Relic Seeker, Emergency Powers, even a Hydrate Crisis to help us get into a card draw, as well as Niv Mizzet, which can benefit from card draw synergies. Now, some of you might be pointing out, well, wait, this ain't really a Super Friends deck. Where's all the Planeswalkers? Well, here's the catch. The catch here is I'm actually using Mastermind's Acquisition to help, in a sense, protect our Planeswalkers, because if we go to the sideboard, then you see a lot more Planeswalkers. I have also another fun card to put in there, Oath of Teferi, which allows us to make our Planeswalkers activate twice, which is pretty silly. I put another Teferi in there just in case if somebody, like, pretty much... I always forget the name. Unmoored Ego, our Teferi from our deck. Also throw Angraf in here, Vivian, Tezzeret, Vraska Gagara Green, Kaya Yurzov Reserver, Dovin Grand Arbiter, and you can also throw in a couple of Planeswalkers of your choice. I was almost tempted to go full cheese and just make it where all 15 are Planeswalkers, but I thought it would better be safe to at least keep some sideboard cards in general, such as Banefire against control matchups, Duress as well for that similar matchup, also against Sultai midrange, as well as Shalai against hand hate decks in specific, and also a way to give ourselves hexproof, Lila Dawnbringer just against aggro, etc., etc., etc. Overall, that is the shenanigans of Chromatic Friends. I'm going to play just a few rounds of Best on Free, so traditional essentially, and hope that you can have some fun shenanigans with what the deck provides. I mean, heck, it seems like I've been going on just testing out Chromatic decks recently, so let's give this a whirl, shall we? Not a chain whirler, granted, but still, it'll be fun to see what shenanigans are about. There we go. We got into a match. And we're going against someone who is very nostalgic for the Amacat block, it seems. So we're going to be on the play. We're going to... Yeah, I think this is a keep. Also, one of the best payoffs for our deck is Cabal Stronghold, since it allows us to get the extra black mana, since we have a lot of black mana sources in the deck. So, I'm just going to play a treasure map. That way we can scry at the beginning of our turn. Our opponent's playing white, mono white, probably vampires, it seems. So, we're going to scry. We like the swamp, so we're going to draw it. We'll draw the swamp. We're going to go to our main. We're going to play the swamp. We got choices here. We could just play another treasure map, but I also tempted just to play another Chromatic Compass just in case we don't get a swamp. So I think I might just do just that. Pause on the beginning step as we did before. And what I'm going to do is actually guarantee the swamp. So we're going to get the swamp. That way then we go to our main. And hey, we got an Overgrown Tomb. I also throw Overgrown Tombs in here as the only shock land in the deck, because obviously we need a lot of swamps to synergize with Cabal Stronghold. But mostly they're in here just in case if we need to do an early game Assassin's Trophy. For now, though, I think I'm just going to play the swamp, keep up the green mana hidden so they don't think we have an Assassin's Trophy. Vraska's Contempt is perfect on top. We're going to keep that. I'm guessing our opponent's playing a vampire deck of sorts. Yep, looks like we got vampires. Okay. Ow. Okay. We could just play this, but I don't really want to give them land since it looks like they're struggling with lands at the moment. What I think I'm going to do is... go look for a swamp again. Get that swamp. Scry. Yeah, the swamp's fine on top. And then... honestly, we're going to pass the turn. If necessary, we can Assassin's Trophy a really problematic threat. Such as that, which they're probably going to do to hate out the Chromatic Compass. Fine, then in that case, I'll give you a land. Nope. No, wait, it's better just so that I can use Overgrown Tomb. Don't need it right at the moment, so... we'll let them give us a bunch of owies. Boop, boop. Then we go to my turn. We'll play the swamp. We will say no on that. I like my Chromatic Compass, thank you very kindly, even though I have to give you a swamp in exchange for that. And honestly, going to do this, as well as that. That puts us 5 mana in the mana pool. Which, honestly, I'm just going to do an Eldest Reborn. They're probably going to sacrifice the Bishop Soldier, if I have to make a guess. No, the... Interesting. So then, now we are going to pass the turn. The Chromatic Compass flips, so now we can have... so this is totally negated, essentially, when it tries to attack. They go Mortify, we don't mind. We just say, nope. Doo-doo. Ooh, now we got our payoff card. So, let's see. Let's do some math. So if we do this, and we do this, we can do this, search our main for the one card we're looking for. There we go. I'll pay to 2 life, that way hopefully... worst case scenario, if they pump this, we can Vraska's Contempted, sacrificing some treasures in the progress. No, but I don't mind sacrificing that. They'll get a swing in, which, it's fine. Anyway, now, boop, boop. Honestly, I think it's just best to go with one of the better payoffs. A bunch of zombie tokens. Eee. Okay. Opponent does that.
Determined before the choices we make reveal.
I'm guessing I'm getting the swamp. Then we're just going to draw a card. And then honestly, play treasure map. Scry with the treasure map. There we go. We don't really need another card. And whoop, doop, 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 doop. Well, let's get that settled. The wreckage out of the way. There we go. Thank you kindly. I really want all those swamps. Just for a later set of shenanigans. Later. Because now these lands tap for 13 black mana. Well, 14 once we play this. Okay, so they killed that. They're going to attack the Karn. Or at least think about it. They're like, yeah, we gotta attack the Karn. Or attack me. So we're gonna be like, nope. So then, what we do? Well, get rid of the board. -1.
Your patience is rewarded.
And we are keeping that on top. So, honestly, we're just going to pass the turn and hope that the opponent doesn't have removal. Now, don't get me wrong, the opponent still is in good standing. They have a lot of life, and they have 2 cards in hand. And hey, a Helm of the Host. Okay, that could be problematic. Okay, annoying, but we have ways to answer that enchantment, so... Okie dokie. So, well, time for the shenanigans. We're going to do that. We're going to do that. We're going to search from outside the game. And we could go with a Planeswalker, but I think this is one where with the life gain, we just have to... Let's see, 23... Just for 39? 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, I did the math wrong on that. Wait. Well, almost. If I actually do this, keep that on top, just in case something goes wrong, then we try to do it for 30. We'll try to do it for exact lethal. And that is the power of Chromatic Black, and we even haven't got to the Planeswalker shenanigans. Okay, so they're playing more of a kind of a dirtily deck of some sorts of just black-white shenanigans. So, what do we play against that? Hey, Leonard. Well, I guess Leonard decided to join and say hi. Hey. Okay, we could probably take out one Eldest Reborn, one Doom Whisperer. I like Vraska in this and Angrath in this matchup, so we'll go like that. That, for the record, if you haven't saw it on camera, that's Leonard. He's a cute little puppy that we sometimes look after, so he's a good little boy. Anyway, I think that's a keeper. Is this like Esper, like emergency power shenanigans? Okay, there's the Bishop Soldier. Okay. We'll just play the treasure map. We will put it on pause. Potentially the opponent can now just have Artifact Hate potentially in their sideboard. Doesn't look like that's the case, so we're just going to... it's still a good draw if we have stuff, but we have methods, so we're just going to draw a card for turn, go to main, play this card, play a Chromatic Compass. Okay, fair enough. Hey there, Leonard. Oh, Okay, Leonard, you go to your mommy now, okay? You go to mommy. One moment, please. You gotta appreciate fun doggos. Anyway, so we know they're just going to be constantly boop, 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 booping. We could just play Chromatic Lantern, get it out right off the bat, then Scry. We could also just get a Swamp. I think I like it where we just like this enter and tap, get the Chromatic Lantern out, Scry with it, see what we have on top. Yeah, I'll keep the land on top. Because if this is going to be their consistent threat, then we could just Angraft to steal it, get some life gain back, and hopefully not have to deal with it, so... And that looks like it's going to be the game plan, so... We're just going to Scry one more time. Hope we got a good top deck. Nah, sure, I'll take more Swamps. Then we play Angrath.
Please run.
We're gonna see what
Your crew for my freedom. A fair price.
we're going to attack. There we go. We get some life gain out of it. As tempting as it would be to use Mastermind's Acquisition to get a Oath of Teferi and then go a little bit funny with this, well, they don't have any black mana in the mana pool, so actually that might be the good move to do, so we're going to do that, we're going to do that, search for an Oath of Teferi. That way, cute little trick. But we're going to sacrifice a treasure to draw a card. Get the trick. Then we play Oath of Teferi. We're just going to sacrifice for white, then blue. And since we don't have any more treasures to take advantage of Treasure Cove, we're just going to bounce the Treasure Cove which should bounce back as the artifact if my recollection is correct. So, now we're just going to plus this 2 times to make the opponent fade out their hand just a little bit.
No steel.
Then again.
No fire, no steel.
And it should return back as the artifact. That way we can do more beginning of turn scrying. So we're going to do just that. I think we can keep that now on the bottom, draw into something more significant. And the opponent was like, nope, they got it. Okay, that was a pretty good match. Yes! Anyway, we'll play one more just for shenanigans, and then I think that's good enough for the video for today. I kind of have to do this a little bit quick and such because I'm working on a bunch of review videos as well for stuff for for 2 expansions I'm anticipating for, so it's gonna be a lot to juggle this week and next week or 2, I'll say that. But I am excited to see what War of the Spark provides, because it might actually provide some interesting tools for this deck archetype, so can't wait to see what shenanigans it brings. Though the one shenanigans it's not going to bring is his hand, which we're going to have to mulligan it. Oi. Fine! Not great, but fine. Okay, we're going to put that on bottom. And we'll see what... Looks like we're going against Gruul. Oh boy. We don't have any early game interaction against Gruul. We might be in trouble. What? Okay, opponent. I don't know what you're doing, but I am intrigued. Let's see what you're doing. What? Is there a deck that uses Power Stone that I'm not aware of in the meta? Not that I can think of right off the bat. I am curious to see how this is going to go, though, because either the opponent's trying to build up to a ridiculously big Banefire of sorts, or I don't know why Power Stone Shard is in here. Huh. Okay, I'm really intrigued. Okay, so they have 5 mana now. 4. Okay, make sure this stuff's not counterable. Makes sense. Okay, I think we just gotta go search for our Chromatic Lantern, because we really need it, so we're gonna search for that, get it, and see what big shenanigans our opponent's going to provide. Oof. Well, if we top deck an Eldritch Reborn, we should be fine? Actually... Okay. So it costs 2 mana to nullify it. So, we'll see what he does next turn, because what I'm going to do this following turn is get the black mana to nullify the Nullhide Ferox to get the Assassin's Trophy out. There is also an argument just to Rhythm of the Wild this, since we do have Niv Mizzet, and we do have emergency powers. I'm going to see what the opponent has first, because it looks like this is their main quote-unquote card they're using, though I might be accidentally setting them up for a big cult. Sure. Try to put an enchantment on it. Okay, you're trying to cast an enchantment. I'm going to take advantage of that to destroy the creature. Whew. Okay. This is going to hurt, but we're going to have to paint ourselves to get the Niv Mizzet Piran. So, yeah. And it's best we get that out now. Oh, wait, I forget. Kabbalah can actually now tap for... Ah, I didn't even have to spend the life. That could have cost me the game there. That could have cost... I do remember. It also changes landslide Kabbalah strong. Oh. Okay, no worries. No worries. Because... Well, we got choices. Let's see. We can draw a new hand of 7 cards. If we do that, that allows us to do 7 damage plus 8 damage. So, yeah, that's actually the play there. So, we're just going to tap for that, and... And since we draw a couple cards, that should... Then we can put a... I'm going to guess... I like Chromatic Lantern on the field. Because then we can play a land. And honestly, I'm just going to Assassin's Trophy that Rhythm of the Wild now. That way they don't have a Fiend with haste. We're not going to attack in because we might need the blocker, especially if they have like a big haste dragon of sorts. Like the one that I'm thinking of, but I'm having a brain fart on the name. They could also just fight with fire or Niv Mizzet, or they have enough mana to actually fight for fire for lethal, so we gotta keep that in mind. Okay, so they're going for the I want hexproof option. Oi, that's not... That irks. Ow. Okay. So, we have the Assassin's Trophy again. Cabals. So that we can do that. Along with that. Scry once. We'll keep that on top. Scry twice. Keep that on top. We'll play another Chromatic Lantern. And just hope that the opponent does not have any hasty creatures. Honestly, they're playing Gruul, so we are probably dead. Yep, that's game. Okay, so they're playing more mid-range, so we should probably not suspect... So we should probably take out the Cryocanariums. That's kind of a dead card in this matchup. Cards that are good against that. We definitely want to throw in the Lyra, since that is just a good card against, like, big creatures like that. Vraska is tempting, but I'm not sure. Angrath's tempting, but I'm not sure. Vivian. We have seen at least them playing one dragon, so... Might just be worthy enough just to put it in there. I also like Shalai, just in case they have burn-based shenanigans. We could also just throw in Duresses, just to try to hate out the one counter. We could also try Kaya. We have choices. I think I like the Vivian here, because if we're going to go out, let's at least go out with showing more of the Planeswalker shenanigans that Chromatic Black can provide at the very least. And at least the opponent knows that we are just Chromatic Black, so that helps us out a lot. That helps us. Okay. Sorry, just testing something real quick. There we go. So, we'll be on the play. You could make the argument that we probably should have kept, like, some removal in the hand, or... Okay... I'm confused. Maybe the opponent has an obligation to attend to? Well, we'll see. Okay. Or maybe they just conceded because really bad starting hand? Okay, speaking of a bad starting hand... oh yeah, one card I forgot to mention. I throwed 1 or 2 Hydra Craces in here for card draw. If I haven't mentioned that, so... I mean, on the other hand, we do have stuff like Josu Vets. We do have Chromatic Lantern if we draw into a land. This is the definition of a greedy hand, but I think I keep it. And look like Leonard is sniffing around again. Hey there, goofball. Hey there. Hey there. We're gonna draw. We're gonna go to our main. We're gonna say boop. Hey there. Oh, that. Well, at least you're making the... Oh, sorry about that. Okay, Leonard. Go down. Come on. Let's go down. Okay. At least he's making the comfort of potentially, actually probably, realistically dying to this match archetype. Because, yeah, that was probably a little bit too greedy on my part. Because missing a land drop... Ooh... it's so tempting to concede here, but let's just play it out. Because, oi, it is never fun to be land-starved. It is never fun. Yeah, okay, now we're dead. Because the opponent has to do is just play a haste creature. There was no way we're coming back from that. Nevertheless, as you can see, kind of the deck strength, that strength is actually against kind of like mostly control matchups and also just some peculiar matchups. I know its main weakness, which is good we win against, is kind of like really effective mid-range or aggro decks, so keep that in mind. Nevertheless, I'll show off the deck one more time. This is Chromatic Friends. I hope you have fun with this deck tech. Also, just quick show of the lands, 3 Cabal Strongholds, 18 Swamps, and 4 Overgrown Tombs. If you want to do your own tweaking to it, you can give it a shot with cards in your collection. I think just this archetype in general is just a fun one to toy with at the very least. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Please have a great day or a great evening or morning, whenever time you're watching this. And this is LevDev, signing out.